Okay, so right here I have the Lenovo IdeaPad gaming laptop. This is a 15-inch Intel-based gaming laptop that's a value machine. Since it's Lenovo, there are a number of sales all the time, and you can actually pick this up for under $1,200. That's the full retail price. I wouldn't be surprised if you can get it for as little as $900 or $875 here around the holidays. There is almost always a sale for the holidays on the Lenovo's website. So, this particular model that I have is the 11370H CPU, which is the same CPU that's in the Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 7i Pro, which is an Ultrabook that I reviewed recently. And I really like that processor. It's very good. It's like the processor in this RazorBook 13, but just a little bit faster clock. So, in here you get that great processor. It is an Ultrabook processor, keep that in mind. Even though it has an H connotation, it's still 4 cores, 8 threads. 15-inch display, it's pretty good. It's a matte background, so you don't have to worry about glare, but it's 1080p. You also get 16 gigs of RAM, user replaceable, and an NVIDIA RTX 3050 Ti. So definitely on the entry-level side of GPU capability, but we will look at some gameplay here in just a little bit. So let's take a tour of the device. On the one side, we have our proprietary power adapter. So that's this guy right here, the same power adapter we've seen in Lenovo laptops for years. A full-size Ethernet port, a full-size HDMI 2.0 port, and a USB-C port. It is not Thunderbolt. On the other side, we have 2 USB 3.2 ports, a headphone jack, and some status indicators. This one here is our power indicator to let us know if we're in sleep mode. And this, I believe, is a reset button. You stick a pin in there, and then if you have a blue screen or you're frozen, you can't boot up, you hit that and it refreshes the BIOS. On the back, there are no ports, but what we do have is a really cool IdeaPad gaming branding and this nice flat but ribbed design on the back end. So as you know, the Lenovo Legion gaming laptops, which is a different series of laptops than this one, those all have ports on the back. This is more of a traditional gaming laptop design and completely ABS plastic. On the back, we have our exhaust vents and our feet. These set of feet on the top are taller than the set of feet on the bottom, so you get a little bit of an angle, which is better for airflow, but it's an entry-level plastic-built gaming laptop. It's not bad by any means, and some people have certain budgets, and that's just the way it is. There's also the Lenovo badging rather on the corner that looks and feels quite good. So, opening it up, we have a full-size keyboard with a number pad and a lot of stickers. I haven't removed any of the stickers, so as a heads up, there's your Intel sticker, here's your Intel Iris Xe graphics sticker, and your RTX sticker. I mentioned the full-size keyboard. It is backlit. I'll show you the backlighting when I turn off my other lighting. It'll look a lot better here in a little bit, but you have a 2-stage backlight, and the 3rd stage is off. You don't get the Q control that there are on the Legion gaming laptops. So just, hey, heads up, if you are interested in being able to change your settings, you have to do it in Lenovo Vantage software or just directly from the Microsoft Power Management suite. But it is backlit, so that's good. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. What I will do next is show you the backlighting and then some actual gameplay footage, and I'll be right back. Okay, before I jump into the gameplay footage, I thought it would be helpful to show you what Lenovo Vantage software looks like. Even though this is clearly saying Legion in many different places, this is software that's completely supported by the IdeaPad gaming laptop line. Now, some of these features are going to be helpful and others I think are not too necessary, right? So let's just take a look at a few things. This model is the 8 gig of RAM model. I said 16 earlier, I apologize for that. And you also have 4 gigs of GPU memory. Make sure this brightness is all the way up here. Yeah, it is. Okay, not a very bright display. I mentioned it's a 3050 Ti. It does come with a 256 gig SSD for boot, and then more of a long-term storage 1 terabyte HDD. The implication here is that you can always upgrade the SSD and the HDD, and you have both, so that's pretty helpful. And you have options like network boost. You can adjust the thermals, at least the settings, which is pretty cool. So if you go to power, this is where you can look at your battery health, and you can make some adjustments to how the battery health is maintained over time. You can adjust your audio settings. This is what I meant by not super helpful, right? You can always disable your You lower your microphone volume elsewhere or disable your microphone using the media key on F4. But it's here too, which is it's good to have one place to do things. Hey, there's me. You can adjust your camera settings. You can change the function row from media keys or special function, which is a good idea. I'm going to do it. Now there's also this Smart Assist. This is something that Lenovo has been pushing out on some of their other laptops that have Dolby Vision support. This one does not have Dolby Vision support, but it does have some of the features that I'm seeing on those other machines, such as this super resolution upscaling, where it can make some assumptions about what you're watching to make things look better, which is pretty cool. And a performance boost for gaming, which I'm going to leave off because I feel like it doesn't give you an apples to apples comparison with other machines that you might be looking at that don't have that functionality. Okay, so that is how it works. And let's jump into some gaming. And oh, you know what? Before the gaming, let me just show you the backlighting. Okay, here we go. There's your backlighting. So a lot of my lights are on, but not all of them. So you get kind of a sense of the backlighting. That's full backlight. Here's off. Here's moderate backlighting. You'll notice that the screen is not updating to show you that the brightness has been adjusted, which is what a lot of the Legion laptops do. I mean, all of them do that, which is really cool. It's a nice effect. So I just want to stress that this is not a Legion laptop. This is definitely a different line, and it is that value line. So you're not going to get some of those more premium features that you would see on the Legion. So I'm going to fire up 2 games. We'll take a look at performance in Doom Eternal and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. All right, taking a look at the settings, we are running in 1920 by 1080 resolution, which is the native resolution of this laptop. Just want to make sure you guys kind of see what has been applied here. Pretty much everything's off. And as far as the settings, just medium across the board. Let's see what we can get out of this. All right, here we go. Taking a look at these load speeds. Hopefully this is all coming across pretty well. I know that the FPS counter in the top left is really small, so I'll just read out the FPS from time to time. This is installed on the HDD, right? The hard drive, not the SSD, just a heads up. That's part of the reason the read speeds are pretty low. Okay, so hopefully it's coming across that the fans are not very loud at the moment. They're running, but not much is going on. You will hear them ramp up in a moment, I'm confident. Okay, so we're around 40 to 70 frames per second. It's bouncing around quite a bit. And I'm getting a lot of choppiness. I'm not sure if it's coming across here. I don't remember how to play this game. There we go. But it's just randomly dropping in and out. 79 frames per second. All right. I probably should have read that. I don't remember the button. RC, there we go. Okay, this is going a lot better. There's not much in the game world at the moment. Doing around 80 frames per second, and it looks good. Oh. Aren't you supposed to? There we go. Okay, it's going a little better now. So that's good. 80 frames per second, 75. And this is the entrance. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and we'll switch over to The Witcher 3. Okay, here we are with The Witcher 3 and looking at the graphics settings. It's a mixture of high and ultra right now. And of course, Witcher 3 is a very well optimized game for RTX GPUs. So no wonder this is the default. It is 1920 by 1080. Unlimited frames per second. Just like before, I'll read out the frames as we go along. So I know it's hard to read, but it's what I've got, guys. It's what I've got. So, right now I'm seeing 44, 4750, 4850, 37. Now, before the 37, I kind of spun around, and once again, there was a bit of a lag of some kind, just kind of stopped for a moment, but I can't seem to recreate it. Hovering at 49, 48, 52, Gosh, this is a beautiful game. I want to play this again. 52. Let's get wet. 51, 49. Those fans just started to spin up a little bit more loudly. They're still very quiet. I'm almost wondering if, maybe I should try to force it to be louder. That's right there is where the Legion line has a pretty big advantage. If the noise isn't bothering you, or if you really want to increase your performance without adjusting your settings, just a quick function cue, and then all of a sudden you're unlocked, right? You're going a lot faster, which is definitely helpful when you're playing your games. But this is not very loud. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and we'll wrap it up. Okay, so final thoughts. Here's where I'm at. This is a good machine, especially if you're on a budget. Maybe you're targeting up to $900, $950. You can get this with a 1650, a 3050, the 3050 Ti, and, all of which are going to have varying prices, but you're going to be under $1,000, $1,100, particularly with sales. So if you have a low budget, it's not a bad way to go. Lenovo has very good customer service. They're very reliable machines relative to the other manufacturers on the market, but you're going to miss out on some of the other features that you might really prefer. And you might be able to pick up a second-hand or a phased-out model from last year of another Legion or a Razer or something that's going to give you, similar performance with just a better overall build. The biggest issue I have with this machine, it's not the plastic, it's not what it's targeting to do in terms of aesthetics, it's the display. This is a really dim display. I don't have the necessary equipment to measure the brightness. My guess is it's around 210 nits, maybe less. It's not a very bright display. And then also, from my angle, I'm trying to get you guys dead on with the screen. I'm towards the side. The viewing angles they're not very good. Not that that matters too much, but just a heads up on that. Battery life isn't too bad. I was able to squeeze out like 6 hours, but I didn't do some, intense testing. And the other thing is this display is capped at 60 Hertz. So let me just double check on that. Oh, it goes to 120, my apologies. So you do get a 120 Hertz refresh rate. If you drop it to 60, you might be able to get another half an hour, an hour of battery life if that's important to you. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this. It's a good machine. I like it. There are a lot of options out there. A ton. Get a good keyboard too. Lenovo has awesome keyboards. This is no exception. This thing's awesome. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful. We'll see you on the next review. I got a ton in the hopper, so stay tuned. All right, cheers.